Hi guys, welcome to Palace of the Core. My name is Stephen Dawes. Thank you for joining me. Right, so I'm going to be talking about the game against Arsenal. So if you haven't seen it yet, do make sure that you go and see it and go and listen to it, or however you consume it, and then come back here and listen to what I've got to say. I'm also going to be adding on the end of this the match preview for the semi-final against Aston Villa, because it was quite a short interview. The televised part anyway, he didn't say very much, so I'm just going to tag it on the end of this. So we had a bit of a change in the team for Arsenal. We had Kamada in the middle with Adam Wharton, and we had Nketiah up front. Now it did concern me a little bit, especially with Nketiah and especially with Kamada in the middle, because I thought that was a little bit of a weakened side for us. And I felt that even though Arsenal didn't necessarily put out their strongest team either, I felt that it was a little bit suspect. But I was pleasantly surprised because although when the game started, after a couple of minutes, Arsenal managed to score a goal, which was a bit of a shame. I think it was just a little bit of a lack of concentration, lack of getting ready, getting set. It's something that we've done to other clubs this season, so I think maybe they were trying it on with us, and it did succeed. Unfortunately, we went down a goal down after a few minutes, but we did give up, which is something that Oliver Glasner was very pleased about. He said, considering the fact that we've lost those two games 5-0, he was a bit worried about us going down 1-0 earlier on, but he said the team fought back, and they did. They put together some really good passing play. Yes, there were a few balls going astray again, as there has been this season, but in general terms, I think that we managed to get ourselves back in the game. Obviously, Arsenal had the lion's share because of the fact that's how they play. But I did feel as though we were having spells in the game when we were penning them back, or when we were passing the ball around. We had spells of possession which were quite good, and I felt that it seemed to be a little bit of quick, slow. So we'd have either Arsenal or us would have a bit of high intensity, pushing forward, trying to make things happen, and then it would slow down a little bit, and it would be more of a midfield passing around bit, and then it would speed up again. So that seemed to be how it was working out for me. We did get a goal back from Eze. It was a wonderful goal. Oliver Glasner said it was one off the training ground, although it hadn't worked up until that point. But it was a lovely ball in by Adam Wharton to Eze on the end of the area, and he just hit it on the volley. And it bounced off the ground into the back of the net. Fantastic little goal. I think it's going to go down as one of the goals of the season. I'm pretty sure of it, along with another one which I'm going to tell you about in a little while. But yeah, so that was 1-1, and I thought if we can hang on till half time with it being 1-1, that will be good for us. But sadly we couldn't. We conceded a second goal just before half time, which was a little bit disappointing from my point of view. But again, I felt that it was in terms of, we conceded 2 goals, and Henderson did have to make a couple of saves. One was a really good save, a little palm over the top. I don't think he wasn't overly worked. It wasn't a constant bombardment on him. I think it was measured chances that they had, and we had very similar chances ourselves. In fact, I think that we could have scored at least 1 or 2 more had those chances gone in, because we had some very good chances. So I felt it was quite an even game in that respect. But yeah, so it went in at half time 2-1 to Arsenal, and second half it was pretty much the same. It was very similar to the first half. A lot of quick, slow. It was them having probably the lion's share of possession. I haven't seen the stats, but probably the lion's share of possession, and then us coming back and having a bit of possession ourselves. And I think that it was one of those games where it wasn't as, we weren't under the cosh as much as I thought we probably would be. So anyway, but then Arsenal and we made a few changes as well. We brought on Will Hughes, and we brought on JP later on in the game. But I felt that we were working well. Oh, and also of course we had Justin Darren in the middle there as well, and I thought that he had a really good game. He was really running around, fighting for the ball, and keeping things at bay a lot. He had a really good game, I felt. But anyway, so towards the end of the game, there was a bit of a passing across the back from Arsenal, and Kamada and Jean-Philippe Mateta tried to close it down. Jean-Philippe Mateta managed to nick the ball off of one of the players, and Raya was quite out of his goal and over to the right, and he just lobbed it into the other corner of the goal. Lovely goal as well. I think another one that could be goal of the season. So it's going to be a couple of contenders from Palace, I think. So and that was good. And Oliver Glasner did say that they had worked on this, or they had talked about the fact that Raya does come off his line quite a lot. When he passes the ball, he does tend to wander out quite away. And he said that a couple of other players, I know Adam Wharton had a shot that I think he was trying to beat Raya, but Arsenal player on the way. But he did say that they were trying to look at that situation with Raya, and I think that it was good. Raya had a bit of a dodgy game as far as I was concerned. He flapped a couple of crosses that were coming in, and he didn't look entirely happy out there. But I think that was probably because of some of the pressure we were putting on him. Although it was a fairly even game, but I think we had as good a chances as they had in the game, and 2-2 was probably a fair result in that respect, because they had chances and so did we. But yeah, I think that we could possibly have put away another one or two of those chances, and so could Arsenal. So I think 2-2 was a good result in that respect. In terms of players, I think they all played very well. I think Kamada had one of his best games for Palace. Obviously he didn't set the game alight, but he was good. He went in for the challenges. He was trying to break up the play in the middle with Wharton there. Some of his passing was really good. He was of course involved in the late goal. And I think he had one of his better games, to be fair. He actually got Man of the Match award, which was a little bit of a surprise, but I think he actually had a good game. I think everyone else played really well. Lerma was at the back, and I thought he had a really good game. Trying to stop things going out, anywhere forward. And I think Nketiah had a couple of half chances. A little bit disappointed for him that he didn't get a goal, because I think he really wants to score more goals, and he's not going to get a huge amount of opportunities with JP in the form he's in. But he had a couple of half chances, so that was sad for him that he didn't get a goal. And that was pretty much how the game ended, and I was really pleased that we got the 1-1 there, and that we managed to rest a few players along the way as well, which was an added bonus, I think. Looking ahead to what is now tomorrow, as recording of this video, I think Aston Villa are going to be a tough side. I know we've played well against them in the past, but they have done well lately, and I think it's going to be a very tough game for us. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park, certainly, and I think I'd love to say that we're going to make it. I would love to say, and I'm going to put my neck out here and say that I think we're going to win the game. Scoreline, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it will be a draw. I don't think it'll be a 0-0 or a 1-0. I think it'll be more than that. But I think we're going to win this game, to be fair. At least I hope so, because I'm going to be going down there, so it's going to be a long way to go for me if we're not going to win. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, as I'm sure everybody else is out there. If you are going to Wembley tomorrow, do look out for me. I know there's going to be a lot of people there, but if you do happen to see me, say hello. And I hope you guys are all well. And until the next time, see you later.